Hey, welcome back guys, General Tony here, coming back with a brand new Clash of Clans episode, and today I was going to do something special for the second video of the day. We were actually going to do a Clash Royale video, but instead, I've decided to do something which I haven't really seen done on YouTube before. So, a lot of people that watch this channel are a variety of Town Hall levels, ranging from literally Town Hall 1 all the way to Town Hall 11, and what I thought I would do in this episode is something very different. I'm basically going to give you a variety of different tips and tricks that you can use every day when playing the game to kind of help you out and just help you improve. Now, I will say a disclaimer before we do start the episode, guys. Firstly, I am not the best player in this game, and I never claim to be. I only play for fun, so please do not give me any hate comments saying, Tony, you have no right to tell me these things. I'm just giving you my experience, guys. It's literally as simple as that. I fell so many times inside of war, inside of multiplayer battles, etc, etc, simply because I don't do some of these things which I know I should do, but I'm just kind of lazy and then just kind of forget to do it. So I'm going to try my best to tell you all of the best things that I could possibly tell you guys. So we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to get ourselves into the episode. If you do enjoy it and find it helpful, please feel free to leave a like and of course subscribe to the channel. So here we go guys, number one. Now I will also say, just before I do forget, sorry, these are for a variety of different Town Hall levels. Some may not apply to you, some may apply to you. Just make sure to stay tuned and watch the entire episode to see if any single one of these helps you out. Also, some of them and many of them you may already know, but once again guys, there are new players that come to the game every single day, and I thought, you know what, let's just do an episode on this because it's something different. So number one guys, and this is something that literally so many people just don't do, and it is so simple, and it is honestly, could you all try and drop the rage spell into the path of where the troops are going? So you'll see, if you literally just go into the most recent war log inside of your clan, take a look, I will guarantee you that 95% of the attacks drop the rage spell on the troops that were kind of moving towards an object. So they drop the troops, they drop the rage spell kind of in the most unnecessary place possible. You really want to drop the rage spell where the giants or the golems or the wizards are heading. You don't want to necessarily drop the rage spell onto those troops directly, because at the end of the day, the rage spell lasts for a certain amount of time, and if you drop the rage spell on the troops whilst they're moving, they're going to leave that zone. The rage spell is then going to become just pointless, and you're not going to get the most out of it. So if you do want to get the most optimal rage spell ever, literally use your mind, use your experience, use some skill, some technique, and drop the rage spell where you know those troops are going to funnel into. So going straight into number two, and the exact same technique is also applied to the heal spell and the haste spell. Ensure that you drop the spells beyond where the troops are. You want to drop them into the oncoming space where the troops are going to arrive. Now, I know this sounds so simple, but it will literally save you the war, guys. It can honestly save you the war. And as I said, I don't do these things myself because I'm damn lazy. I need to slap myself. Oh, Tony, don't hit. I'm only joking, guys. I'm only slapping my hands. But honestly, I need to stop being lazy. I need to do these things myself because we've lost the last 3 wars in a row. And obviously it's not just down to me, but if I, like, you know, pulled my socks up a little bit and actually knew what I was going to do, actually paid a bit more attention in the game, then we would have won the last 3 wars. But unfortunately we haven't, and it is simple as a rage spell can save your war. A heal spell can save your war. So moving on to tip number 3, guys, and once again another very simple one, and this applies massively to the new Valkyries and several other troops as well, even Hog Riders, Bowlers, those sorts of troops, and it is funneling. Now, one thing I always do, I'm so damn impatient. I'm impatient in life in general, but I think inside of this game I'm also impatient. I just want to get in there and wreck the base, but sometimes it doesn't work like that. Sometimes you have to be patient. So when you do funnel troops, ensure you have a good amount of either golems or giants to tank. Send in the wizards. Make sure every single building within the vicinity that you think those Valkyries or those bowlers are going to go off towards is taken out. And once you've done that, only drop in one of the troops and see where that troop heads. If that troop heads into the center, then that's the sign to send in the rest of the army, and of course you have a greater chance of getting a 3-star or a 2-star. So moving on to tip number 4, and this really only applies to Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11 because both of them have 35 trooping spaces inside of the clan castle. Now, one thing that I see happen so much, and it is so frustrating to watch, and I even do it myself. Once again, I will not lie to you, I do it myself, guys. Pretend you're attacking and you've got 3 golems, 2 inside of the army camps, 1 inside of the clan castle. For some reason, a lot of us tend to drop the clan castle first, which has a wizard in it and maybe even an archer. The wizard and the archer are going to get killed straight away if you drop in the clan castle golem first, because the golem's going to come out last, the wizard's going to be rendered useless, he's just going to get wasted, And the Archer, man, she's going to get one shot from an Archer tower and she's pinged, she's dead, she ain't coming back alive. But if you drop down the other 2 golems first, then drop down the clan castle CC, you're going to have an extra wizard to raid with and an extra archer. And at the end of the day, how many 99% 2 stars do you see? How many 99% 1 stars do you see? Many, guys. So that one wizard or that one archer can really save you a war. So moving on to tip number 5, and this is definitely one of the most important within the next 6 to 7 you are about to hear, and this is to be patient with your spells. Now, shout out to Lewis the Pen inside of my clan. I was watching some of his attacks earlier, and even a few other clanmates, and a lot of them are seriously patient with their spells. I mean, they know how to do an attack. In fact, it was this raid that you are about to see. Leonidas was so patient with his spells that he managed to triple star the base in a great way, guys. It was an absolutely awesome attack. So check out Leonidas' attack. You're about to see in a few moments time, he's actually going to save his 2 heal spells to the last few moments in the raid where they really mattered. I mean, if it was me raiding, I would have just kind of panicked and used them a little bit earlier, and I may have ended up getting a 2-star, which is the difference between getting the 2-star and the 3-star, guys. Save your spells, trust in your heart. You know what you're doing at the end of the day, and even if you don't, you're going to build experience and you will learn raid after raid. So moving on to tip number 6, and this only applies to the Town Hall 11s with the Grand Wardens out there, the locked and loaded Grand Wardens, and this is one of the most frustrating things once again, when they don't use the Grand Warden's ability for such a long time, they hold it for like 2 minutes into the raid. It's so pointless, guys. There are only 2 reasons you should be holding the Grand Warden's ability. First one is if you know where big bombs are and you are using it to save your wizards or smaller troops, guys. And the second one is if you are saving it for the Eagle Artillery or the Inferno Tower when either one awakens, guys. If you are not saving it for either of those 2 things, you should use your Grand Warden's ability real early inside of the raid to stop any mass amounts of damage to the majority of your troops. Don't forget, the longer the raid goes on, the wider your troops go and the less of them are going to be within the aura. So you want to use your Grand Warden's ability, as I said, unless it's for the Eagle Artillery, big bombs or Inferno Towers, really early on inside of a raid. So moving on to number 7, and I mean, guys, I mean this when I'm about to say this, never use a symmetrical base. Now, you may look at my base and you may say, Tony, your base is symmetrical. No, it may look symmetrical, but the defenses, the storages, everything, the traps, they're all in different areas. Maybe the walls are kind of semi-symmetrical, but the actual base itself is so far from symmetrical. Never use a symmetrical base, meaning never use a base which looks the same on either side, guys, because you are about to get whooped by any army. Any army can take down a symmetrical base. If you've got one, just basically don't copy the most basic YouTube video bases. Don't copy the ones which are symmetrical, guys. I mean, I've made symmetrical bases in the past. I'll hold my hands up and tell you right now I have. But that was back when I was a noob. Now, I'm still a noob, but like I'm a more experienced noob. So tip number 8, I mean, I shouldn't even be saying this because it is so simple, but I've got to say it. Do not drop your golems in the same area. Do not drop your giants in the same area. Please don't drop your wizards in the same area, guys. You're just asking to get a beat down. And the worst one of all is when someone drops like 30 Valkyries in the same area. I don't know if you've realized, but Valkyries are one of the most insanely powered troops inside of the game. You do not need more than 4 or 5 of them in one spot to tear down any building or defense. So dropping 30 Valkyries or 20 plus Valkyries in the same spot is just a complete waste. So straight on to tip number 9, make at least 2 penetration points if you aren't using a kill squad. So if you've already used the kill squad or you're not even using one altogether and you're going in with the main army, make sure you use at least 2 penetration points. Bring at least 5 to 6 wall breakers to ensure that your army has a decent spread. So tip number 10, and back to Town Hall 11. So a few moments ago, I told you all to use the Grand Warden's ability ASAP to save as many troops as you can. Except if you are to do this, guys. Now, if you're Town Hall 11 and you're trying to funnel Valkyries, Wizards, etc. into the center of the base and you know there's a possibility there could be some giant bombs, make sure you save the Grand Warden's ability to render those giant bombs useless. So on to one of the final tips, and this is for pretty much every Town Hall level which has the free spell. So I think Town Hall 9, 10, and 11. And this is to not wait too long before using the free spell, especially if you are using the free spell on the Inferno Towers. Now, I know I said be patient with heal spells, rage spells, haste spells, etc. But with a free spell, it is completely different. An Inferno Tower can destroy an entire army in seconds, especially if it's like Wizards, Valkyries, etc. So make sure you are dropping that free spell at the correct moment in time to freeze that Inferno Tower and ensure it does the smallest amount of damage possible. And the final tip, guys, tip number 12, do not use heal spells with free spells on Inferno Towers. It just doesn't work. Unless the Inferno Towers are easy to get to or you take them down quickly, do not use heal spells when you're using Town Hall 10, Town Hall 11 attacks. So there it is, guys. They are kind of like the 12 most underrated tips inside of the game. I hope you have enjoyed it. Leave a like down below if you have. Can we hit 10 gazillion likes on the video? No, we can't, Tony, so shut up. Okay, mate. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. I will see you shortly. Peace out.